Okay, guys, this is a video telling you how to set up outline notes. So I just want to give you some examples, okay? So first thing we want to do, this is a document I created to just kind of explain it. First thing we want to do is go up on your Google Docs toolbar, and we're going to choose the numbered list option, but we're going to click this little down arrow. And then it will give us a bunch of different options on like the formatting we want. I like this one down here where it starts with a Roman numeral. This is just how I learned. Okay, so this, when we start our notes, we're going to start with the main idea. I'll get more into that. Okay, so if we have a second main idea, we would put it right underneath that. I just want to point out, did you notice that when I hit enter, it just continued my list as is, okay? Now with outline notes, we want to kind of categorize things, and we're going to put details about our main ideas and then details about those details, okay? So if I had a main idea and I want to give a detail about it, I'm going to hit enter and then tab over, and see how it creates that A? Another way I could do that is this up here, this increase indent option on the toolbar will do the same thing, okay? So I'm going to write supporting detail. Let's say that I have multiple supporting details. Okay, but on my third detail, I want to give details about my details. So again, I'm going to hit enter and I'm going to tab over. So see how it increased the indent automatically. Another thing I can do is go up here and do that increase indent. Okay, so let's say, okay, so again, it just continues the same way. My list continues. So now let's say I don't want to keep doing those details. I want to go back over and do another detail about this main idea, okay? I can hit tab and then backspace, and sometimes that will work. Mine, for some reason, isn't working that way. So another way I can do that is I can hit enter, so I still have that new list item, and then I'm going to decrease my indent, and I'm going to put it wherever I want to put it, okay? So let's say that I want another detail, okay, about, okay, so can you just notice, please, that as my details are going, this detail is going to be supporting this idea, okay? Now let's just say that I want, okay, I have a main idea and I didn't find any details about that, okay? So let's just say that I want another main idea. Actually, let's say I have it set up here and I want another main idea, but I want it to go here. So I'm going to hit enter. So it's continuing wherever in the list I was currently typing, but I want to decrease my indent so I can put another main idea. Okay, so let me just show you an example of an outline so that you can see what one actually looks like. Okay, so here's an example of an outline that I have created in the past. This is about the 1920s. Okay, so the first main idea was called A Changing Society, and actually in the textbook, that was the topic heading. And so the first main detail, like the first paragraph, was about an era of independence. And I knew that because that was in the very first sentence of the paragraph, which, remember that the very first sentence almost always contains the main idea. So I wrote an era of independence. That's what, that was the first way that society was changing, as they were becoming more independent. And so these are all the details about how that was a time of independence, like the fact that more people lived in cities and had more access to cultural and education opportunities, and also the fact that young people were listening to music and driving cars and they were experimenting with their freedom. So that is how these are two supporting details about eras of independence. Now, if I wanted to add a detail right here, if I wanted to like add another layer to it, I might talk about what type of cars they were driving. Okay. My second detail that I had created was, or my second main idea was that the United States was changing into a peacetime economy. And I separated that into two main supporting details about a peacetime economy. The fact that there were economic troubles when people first got home, and some of the details that were discussing the economics were like women needed to give their jobs to returning veterans, the US canceling wartime contracts and laying people off, and the fact that people wanted more stuff than was available. So it's going to cause prices to rise and wages fall. Okay, another thing during the peacetime economy is that there's going to be strikes, and these are all the details about strikes. Okay, so just returning to our example of an outline and what that looks like, remember that it looks like this. So you can see how we had used those topic headings as main ideas. We had used the topic sentences. The first sentence of every paragraph is like the supporting details to the main idea. And then when we indented from there, these are all the specific details we would have underlined if we were using like an annotation method. And those are going to be our supporting details. So I hope that helps you kind of understand what an outline is, how to format it, and how it works with a textbook.